Hi, this is Ian Westerman. I'm the head pro at EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players, just like you. And in today's video lesson, we're going to answer a question from Gary, who wrote to me via email. And he had a very interesting question about balancing being aggressive versus being consistent, and what that means for his win-loss record, and also his overall development as a player. Basically, what he described to me was, Ian, when I just play high percentage tennis, I win a lot more, but I don't really see new skills develop. On the other hand, when I go out there and I try to swing out and really be aggressive, I lose more matches, but I kind of start to develop new skills, new abilities to be able to hit shots a little bit harder or more aggressive or more challenging for his opponent. So how do we balance those things out? That's an excellent question, Gary, and this is kind of a little tug of war that those of us who are constantly trying to improve ourselves, we're always feeling this little pressure back and forth between wanting to stick with what we're already good at, what we're comfortable with, versus stretching our abilities and kind of navigating a little bit outside where our circle of comfort is. At least that's the key, is going a little bit outside. And I've kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. One of the big keys here, Gary, is not thinking of this as an all or nothing kind of thing where you have, okay, I'm going to be consistent tennis player Gary, and I'm just going to play a high percentage, and I'm just going to hit everything cross courts, and I know that these are the safe places for me to hit. I'm not going to take any chances, and I know I can beat most players that way. And then the next day, Gary says to himself, all right, today I'm going to work on my aggressive game, and I'm going to take everything and change direction. Now I'm going to go down the line instead. I'm going to aim 3 inches over the net and hit the ball 100 miles an hour every time. When you look at it in a very black and white way like that, that's when you're not going to see very many improvements, at least not on a continual basis. You'll see improvements kind of pop up here and there, but you won't have a very gradual ascent up the levels of tennis. It'll be very kind of incremental, like one thing at a time here and there, if you keep going back and forth like that. So the key here is to challenge yourself a little bit more, and this should really start in practice, Gary, what I recommend, with a ball machine or with a coach or with a hitting partner. Going back to that example of maybe changing direction and going down the line, if currently at, let's say 60% of your acceleration potential, if currently at 60% acceleration, you can change direction with your backhand and make, 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 going down the line, then I would challenge you to just step a little bit outside of that. Add 5% or 10% to that and go to 65 or maybe 70% acceleration and see exactly how much your consistency drops. If it immediately drops down to like 3 out of 10, then you've pushed it a little too hard. And you want to find that little bit, that incremental acceleration, that incremental increase in the level of your shot so that you can still be reasonably consistent. If you can still make 6, 7 out of 10, then good. You found a good place to challenge yourself, and you want to kind of hang out at that speed, that level of shot, until you've inched your way back up to 8 or 9 out of 10 again. Great. Now we've made that jump in ability to execute to a little bit higher level, and then you go back and again you add 5 or 10% until you drop a little bit in your consistency, stay there, and then slowly raise your consistency level and go from shot to shot, and you should be continually going through this process. And this is what it takes to continually improve your game. It's hard work. It is. There's no secret key or formula that I can give Gary here to just immediately take every part of his game and just increase it, by a full NTRP level. I wish I could. If I could, I'd be, the best, coach in the world. But that's not possible. So I guess I don't have to worry about not having that ability. Lastly, Gary, as I wrap up here, as I mentioned briefly before, don't play black and white in terms of your execution, either in practice or in match play. So in practice, as well as in match play, you should not be thinking in terms of just consistent and just aggressive. In other words, as you're competing in your matches, you should be looking to blend the two. So use high percentage shot selections when it makes sense. When you're in a defensive or a neutral position, go for the high percentage shot. When you have a clear opening, that's when you should be challenging yourself to go for that little bit, next level shot that you've been practicing and working on the practice court. So there's just some general thoughts there. Hopefully that's been helpful to you, Gary, and the rest of you watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed that explanation as well. It gives you at least a little bit of a starting point on how you can work on your game to continually increase your level of play. If you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click like on YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe to the Essential Tennis YouTube channel. And if you have any comments or questions about anything that you've heard today, leave those down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and good luck with your tennis.